Hi everyone, I am Kylie Fan and welcome back to my channel. Recently, I've received a lot of messages asking me the same question. Hey Kylie, what document do I need to prepare for a 482 visa? Honestly, I think that's the wrong question. Anyone can search Google and find a checklist of documents that are required for visa 482. The documents are actually the easy part. The real question is, are you and your employer eligible for 482 visa before applying? So in this video, I'm not only talking about the documents that you need, but also the conversation that you should have before lodging your application and the things you should prepare beforehand. Let's get started. When people ask a migration agent about 482 visa, they usually receive a checklist of around 13 documents. I'm not going to do that today. Instead, let's first understand what 482 visa actually is. According to the Department of Home Affairs, the Skills in Demand visa allows Australian employers to sponsor a skilled worker because they can't find a suitably qualified Australian for that position. That definition tells us something very important. There are two people being assessed, you and your employer. If either side doesn't meet the requirements, the application won't succeed. And if this video brings you any value, please like and subscribe to my channel. My hope is that by sharing my experience along the way, I can make your journey a little easier than mine. Let's start with the employer. What your employer must do before you even prepare your document. Ask yourself one simple question. Is my employer able and willing to sponsor me? If the answer is no, there is no point collecting the documents because the application can't move forward. And if the answer is yes, you are ahead and your employers have to prepare things from their part. They have to be an approved sponsor. They have to nominate your position. That goes through the nomination process. They have to show that your position is genuine in their business, and they have to pay the correct salary. And last, they have to complete the labor market testing if required. Once they submit the nomination, ask for the transaction reference number, which is TRN. You will need that when you lodge your application for 482 visa. And now let's talk about your side, your eligibility. Even if a company wants to sponsor you, you still have to qualify the visa for yourself. The first thing is your occupation. Your occupation has to be eligible under the stream that you're going for. For most international students, that's the core skills stream. So before you do anything else, go check to see if your occupation is under that occupation list. The next requirement is work experience. In most cases, you will need at least 12 months of relevant experience. Here's something that people don't realize. Home Affairs doesn't just believe you because of your resume. They want evidence. That's why I always tell people to keep every single pay slips, every employer, every week. The pay slips prove that you worked for that business under that position during that period. If you lose them, proving your work history becomes harder. Next is salary. This isn't just about earning enough money. Your salary has to satisfy two different rules. First, it needs to meet the government minimum threshold, and it also has to match what an Australian worker normally earns if they work under the same position in the same location. This is a conversation that you should have with your employer even before you're accepting the job, the contract, not when you're applying for the visa. The next criteria is English. Very simple. For English, most people need an approved English test unless they qualify for some exemption. And this is important. Make sure your certificate is still valid when you lodge the application. The next requirement is skill assessment. But here's the good news. Not everyone needs one. Whether it's required depends on your occupation. So make sure you check before applying. If your occupation requires a skills assessment, you must start it before applying your 482 visa and include the reference number in your lodgement. If your occupation doesn't require one, you still need to provide your qualification certificate, an updated visa, and an employer reference letter. And finally, you will need to meet the Australians' health and character requirements. It usually means that completing a medical examination and providing police certificates in Australia and any other country where you live long enough. And sometimes you cannot get the police check online completely. You have to do some part in person, so you have to check and you have to plan it ahead. Like me, I actually need a police check from Vietnam, so I plan to do that while I travel back home. Before we finish, I want you to remember 3 things. Number 1, choose an occupation that Australia actually needs. Don't compete in areas where there are already plenty of local workers. Think about your long-term PR pathway from the very beginning. Number 2, find a good employer. You're likely to work with them for several years. So choose someone who values your work and genuinely want to support your career. And number 3, become someone who is difficult to replace. Whether you are a chef, a childcare educator, a nurse, or an engineer, your skills, your attitude, your work ethics are what make the employers want to sponsor you. The documents are important, but your pathway starts long before you upload that single file. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me to create more valuable content like this. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.